Lockpick Nick here, bit of a Halloween special. I'm going to show you to take one of these power pumpkin saws, these electric pumpkin carvers, and turn it into a DIY lockpick gun. All you'll need for this project is a file, obviously the power pumpkin carver itself, 4 AA batteries, and a bit of time. Let's get started. First things first, get it out of the package. I've already cut it open, so comes with this for starting holes to put the saw blade into. We won't be needing that. And 2 blades, which is actually pretty nice because that's 2 potential picks to be made. There are 3 retaining tabs that keep this spring-loaded guard on, so I guess you don't slice your fingers off or something. Just going to use these snips here and discard this, and this can just go right back on. To remove the blade that comes pre-installed, looking down at it, you will want to turn counterclockwise. It'll click out. You can remove this piece there, and this will slide out. It can go in either way. Take a closer look at this in a second. So these are the saw blades, and if you're looking to create anything but a simple half diamond, what you can do is hold the pick style that you would like to replicate over the blade and trace it with a Sharpie. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to be doing a half diamond. So I have a cup of water here, and keeping this cool is very important. You don't want this to melt, so constantly be dipping it in the water. So I'll begin. So this is what I have so far. It's pretty good to work with. And it should go without saying that you can use a file or a bench grinder, but just to speed things along, I'm using this guy here. So once you get rid of all the teeth from the saw, then you can start shaping the style of pick you want. So I got a pretty good profile now, and I'm going to clean up the point on this half diamond with a file after I've thinned out a little bit more, because this is still pretty thick, so I'm going to take a little bit off the top here. I know I said I'd be cleaning it up with a file, but I think this is pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is grab a master lock or some smaller lock and ensure that this half diamond just isn't too big. I think I could take a little bit more off that. And I'm happy with that. So you can always take more off, but you can never add more back on. So just make sure to frequently check when you're grinding this away. Let's test it out. So we have our freshly made pick insert. Put it into the power pumpkin carver, and if you're looking down at it clockwise, we'll lock it into place. There is a divot on either side of the carver, and you can use that to ideally pop the battery cap off. And I don't know if it'll pick that up, but on either side are some markings that say which way to put these 4 AA's in. So let me take a closer look at that and put these in. Snap it back on and we are in business. Let's try it out. So for testing, I have this residential deadbolt and we'll be using a Covert Instruments tension wrench. Let's open her up. Just like that. In the event that maybe you want a different pick profile, for some reason you don't like half diamonds, and you don't want to take the time to shape one of these saw blades to a pick profile of your choosing, they are pretty easy to disassemble. So what I do is I clamp it down and slowly work a pair of pliers until it pops off, and there's only a little plastic pin in there kind of keeping it all together. So I'm gonna go dig out a broken pick and put her in. I didn't want to make the video any longer than it had to be, so I just quickly sanded this down into what I believe is a rough shape that would fit in. So what you can do, don't do that. Get it started into the plastic insert. Go ahead and clamp it up a bit, and then preferably something with a soft handle. Make sure I clamp that in good enough. You can send it home and you'll feel it bottom out. So now we have another insert. Let's test this guy out too. To try out this new snake rake insert, I'm going to use this Wiser Lock residential deadbolt. I'm telling you, 16, 17 bucks for this thing. Can't be beat. Well, that's all I got for the DIY lockpick gun. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.